What can we say? Sometimes video game storytelling is so powerful, it touches us for the worse. We get so invested in a character or events that when an unfavorable outcome occurs, we can't help but feel morose. With so many games being narrative driven, the medium has provided us a lot of venues. As such, here are 5 sad plot twists experienced by players. Warning: spoilers will be discussed for the following titles. Number 5. Harry's European Trip, Spider-Man. Insomniac's Spider-Man game not only gave us a gorgeous open world, it provided us with a story and characters we could invest in. Peter Parker had been fighting crime for years, and his past experiences formed an intriguing backstory. Key to this backstory was his best friend Harry Osborn. Though not physically present in the game, Harry records several messages for Peter asking him to help out with his research stations. Listening to these recordings reveals that Harry not only had regrets about life, but was diagnosed with a genetic disease that caused him to travel to Europe. Completing the game's storyline, however, showed the truth about this European travel, that it was a lie to cover up Harry being put in an experimental treatment chamber by Norman until an actual cure could be found. Very sad indeed. Number 4. Feelings for Emily. Emily is Away. The awkward days of AOL chats were brought back in the indie title Emily is Away. Depicting 2 high school friends who drift apart over the years, the game rested its appeal on grim nostalgia, taking in the good and the bad of the past. The falling out of Emily and the narrator occurs through text-based choices, where everything you say to her seems to make things worse. That is, until the end, when you're finally given dialogue options that completely explain and resolve things to Emily. Only, trying to type any of these results in the protagonist deleting them and sending something vague and defeatist instead. This culminates in him and Emily ultimately ending their friendship forever. A sad plot twist that played to the game's themes about the veracity of online interpersonal relationships. Number 3. You Cant Save Jon, Red Dead Redemption. Though everyone boasts about Red Dead Redemption 2, the original made an impact on us for a reason. It epitomized the Western genre by giving great shooting mechanics and a gorgeous desert world to explore on horseback. None of this would have mattered, however, if the main protagonist of John Marston wasn't as good as he was. A former outlaw, John spends the majority of the game bringing in his former posse. He has been promised a pardon by the federal government if he does so. Only, surprise surprise, it turns out the feds, led by an agent named Ross, want John dead regardless. Facing an assault from the Bureau of Investigation, John sends his wife and son away before preparing to face Ross and his team on his own. Opening the barn doors, the game enters Deadeye mode, seemingly giving the player the chance to take down all of the agents like in previous duels. However, John is only able to give off a few shots before he's barraged by bullets, ending his life but protecting his family from the law for good. Number 2. Nicole Is Dead? Dead Space. Love has a way of striking our hearts directly. In Dead Space, Isaac Clarke travels to the abandoned spaceship Ishimura to find his girlfriend Nicole. Nicole worked as the medical officer and was on board when the Necromorphs took over. He receives occasional messages from her before finally reuniting with her in the game's 3rd act. Only, those interactions were all fake. It turns out the creator of the Necromorphs, an alien device called the Marker, was generating these illusions to trick Isaac. It needed someone to return the Marker to its protector, the Hive Mind. And as for Nicole, turns out she committed suicide to avoid becoming a Necromorph. Or did she? Number 1. AlMualeems Betrayal, Assassin's Creed. Though overshadowed by its sequels, the first Assassin's Creed had many great moments. Set during the Crusades, it followed Altair, a disgraced assassin trying to earn back his honor. To do this, he's assigned by his mentor AlMualeem to kill specific Templars located throughout the Holy Land. In between these assassinations, Altair has a chance to speak with AlMualeem about topics like morality and power. These philosophical discussions were engaging and fleshed out the father-son relationship the two had cultivated over the years. This relationship made the in-game plot twist all the more tragic. After being defeated, head Templar Robert de Sabel reveals that AlMualeem was secretly working with him to get the legendary Apple of Eden. AlMualeem was corrupt from the beginning and using Altair to get rid of his competition. With the assassins enslaved, Altair is left with no choice but to confront his master and assassinate him. An upsetting twist given the Bond experience. And that's our list. 5 tragic plot twists that left us devastated. Has a game ever left you feeling melancholy? Tell us in the comments below and be sure to subscribe to Flickering Myth for more content.